Hey guys, so I'm going to make a video today because I watched a TED Talk for one of my classes and I was really inspired by it, and I really related to it in what's currently going on in my life. So I just wanted to make a video and kind of talk about I just wanted to make a video and kind of just talk about some things. So I'm going to link the TED Talk in the description below for anyone that wants to watch it. I think you should. Also so you can kind of know what I'm talking about in the video. My hair is super curly today. I feel like, I don't know, it's very curly. So I have some notes on my phone. I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot. So the topic of the video is creative confidence, and this is something that I've never really thought about a lot or looked into a lot. I guess because I didn't really know the term for it. It's something that is really relevant in my life to me. So my kind of story is I've graduated from college. I graduated back in April with my bachelor's in psychology. When I first started college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. My senior year of high school, I had an AP Psych class that I really thoroughly enjoyed, and so I was just like, yep, well, let me do psychology. So I don't think I even declared a major until my sophomore year. So my whole first year, I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. That's what I thought to myself, kind of more on a surface level. Throwing it all the way back to like middle school, elementary school, probably not elementary school, probably middle school, I have always enjoyed decorating, interior design, and all of the things of that nature. I had a lot of surgeries growing up, and so I spent a lot of time at home recovering. So I had I had more free time than most kids because they were in school. So I would be at home. I would constantly be watching HGTV, which, I just liked it. I would read magazines, look at magazines, and I would always be changing my room around, constantly changing my room around. Because, when you're little, I didn't have the freedom to, like, do anything in my house. So I just focused on my room, and literally, like, mostly every day or like at least once a week, my whole entire room would be changed. So I have always known that I've had, I would say that I'm a creative person. I have a creative side. I grew up, I loved writing. I wrote all the time. I would write poems, I wrote short stories. I tried to learn guitar. That didn't really work out for me. But anyways, so I have a lot of things that I love to do in the creative realm. So I've always known that, and I've always known that from a very young age. So back to kind of what the TED Talk is about. So he starts out the TED Talk by saying, it's going to be about creative confidence. And he gives an example of this boy who was, I think it was a dinosaur or something. He was creating a dinosaur out of clay or something. And, somebody walked up to him and said, like, what is that? And he said, a dinosaur. And the guy's like, that's not a dinosaur. That looks nothing like a dinosaur. And so the kid felt very discouraged, like, yeah, it's a dinosaur, what are you talking about? And so he said, from then on, this kid is discouraged and feeling like they aren't creative, and they kind of become fearful of being creative, and then, they kind of decide to just kind of opt out of being creative. And, this starts at childhood, and then they grow up and kind of feel lost. And I kind of had the opposite experience of that. I never felt not creative. I felt very creative growing up. I did things, I was very involved, and I used my creativity, a lot. So it wasn't really until high school and college that I kind of lost touch with that side of me. And for me, it wasn't personally anyone actually discouraging me, you know, telling me like I'm not good or I'm, you know, I'm this and I'm that. It was more myself and kind of, I guess, societal pressures and me kind of knowing that I wouldn't really go into an artistic or creative career because that's just not what you did. I wouldn't make it, and I wouldn't make a lot of money, blah blah blah. You know, all of the stereotypes and kind of preconceived notions that go along with that kind of a career. So all of that kind of got to me. I went to a magnet high school, and it was actually a school of the medical arts, very math and science oriented, which I am not a math and science oriented person. So it really wasn't the right fit for me. I really wanted to go to the School of the Arts for high school. I always wanted to go there for writing. I wanted to go for creative writing. And still to this day, I regret not going. And you know, that again was part of that. I thought, you know, I'm not going to have a career in writing. Like, why would I have a career in writing? You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go to this school and do something that I don't like, you know, which is math and science. So anyways, I graduated high school, went to college, didn't know what I wanted to do, chose psychology. So, you know, went through, and I actually really enjoyed all my classes, and I'm going to talk a little bit about psychology because he talks about psychology in the TED Talk. So he kind of starts talking about Albert Bandura, which is a famous psychologist, known for modeling and known for the theory of self-efficacy. So he talks about Bandura's process of systematic desensitization through like anxiety and phobia training, and he talks about how he would do this with, you know, clients that had anxiety or a phobia, and he uses the example of snakes. So I myself am deathly afraid of snakes, so I really wish I could do this also. But anyways, so he talks about how Bandura takes his clients through this whole process of becoming more and more in direct contact with their anxiety and phobia. So it starts out, you know, they're sitting in a chair and they're told there's a snake in the next room, and they get closer and closer and closer until they're literally there with the snake, you know, touching the snake and being around the snake, and they're being desensitized over time. And you know, he talks about the outcome of this is not only are you now kind of cured with that anxiety, but you come out of it, you know, with less anxiety about other things in your life, and you feel kind of like you can do anything. Like, you're like, hey, I overcame this huge fear of mine. I can do anything. Like, I feel great about myself. And that kind of has to do with his theory of self-efficacy, which is that pretty much you can attain your goals. You can do it, and you, you know, kind of a sense that you can change the world, which he relates back to this creative confidence. He says a lot of people fear creativity, or a lot of people think that they're not creative. You know, for example, my brother he's getting a PhD in biochemistry. He's a complete opposite of me. He, you know, is good and he likes the whole math and science. But, you know, he would consider himself creative in his field. But, you know, somebody that is in that kind of field might not consider themselves creative. And it's just, he's talking about if you are young and someone discourages you and you feel like you're not creative and you've opted out of creativity and you feel fearful, that if you take kind of the steps, kind of like in Bandura's systematic desensitization, if you kind of take steps towards your end goal, you will completely change. If you just change your way of thinking, you know, you can completely change the way that you feel about yourself. And get the feeling, you know, the self-efficacy feeling, you know, feel like you can change the world, feel like you can do what you want to do, even if you may not consider yourself to be creative, you know. Everyone's creative. Everyone can be creative, and you can be creative, and everyone's creative in different ways. So all of that to say, for me, throughout my college career, I was working, I had my first job that I worked there for 2 years, and it's a, I don't want to say like the name on here, but it's a place, like a, kind of like Pottery Barn, similar, and you know, when I worked there, I feel like it really challenged me creatively, and it really got me back into a mindset that if I want to do interior design, or I want to do something creative, like, I should just go for it. Like, there's no reason in the world that I should not go for what I'm passionate about and be stuck in something that I'm not as passionate about. You know, I was in college, I was like, I'm just gonna get a PhD in psychology and just go on with this, and you know, that would have been settling. You know, it was settling, and so now I've graduated and I'm in school, I'm in design school, and so throughout that process, throughout that job, I learned to be confident in my creativity and who I am. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little rambly and kind of all over the place, but I hope I kind of got my point across. And if you guys want to see more videos, let me know. I would love to do kind of more talking videos like this, some fashion videos. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys also enjoy the TED Talk if you watch it. And yeah, hope y'all have a great day. Bye!